Welcome to Rhinos and Aliens.
What are we talking about right now?
Oh my god!
Maybe, you know?
I'm ready to record episode 93.
Are we still talking about that one thing?
What one thing?
I don't know anymore.
Me agreeing?
Yes.
Yeah.
But how's that me shutting you up?
Your facial expressions. I stopped talking. I said, I don't know what your answer was. I said, I don't know what you were going to say because he just stopped.
It's waited for a reason.
Okay, I'm over it.
Go ahead, bro.
It's high as fuck. It's literally
Because we doing all this movement. That's why. And because you just cold, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, she's spicy right now. What the fuck?
I'm not. I was just... Ow!
I forgot I had those. I totally forgot. You know, I apologize.
It's fine.
It's okay. I'll get you pregnant.
3 to 5 years.
That's fine. 3 to
Alright,
5
cool.
years. Wait. How old are you?
I'll be 22.
What? How old are you right now?
I'm 21. I'll be 22 in 2 days.
But you said 3 to 5 years. And I was thinking when you said I'll be 22, I'm like, you be 22 in 3 to 5 years.
No, you said that's okay. I'll get you. What did you say? I'll get you.
I'll get you pregnant.
Oh, you said pregnant. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. 3 to 5 years.
Right. And then I said, how old are you?
Okay.
You said I'll be 22.
So
And I was
when
thinking you were
you're
saying,
between 24 and 27?
Yeah, sure.
all them hoes have babies, junior to senior year.
Niggas always getting lucky.
I don't know about lucky. Don't know about lucky.
Call her baby dad lucky.
Yeah. Smart man. That nigga got lucky.
He not lying. I wonder if a bitch gonna get lucky one day. If I hear about that, I might beat you up. Don't ever sleep with a girl. Them bitches is crazy. Oh my god. Real gay bitches don't like me because I'm fake gay. They feel like it's disrespectful.
Because it is.
All right. Well, that's how I feel. So
Either you going to eat the
Y'all-
vagina or not.
listen, you knew how I felt from jump, and you still slept with me. I don't want to hear it.
They're mad that they couldn't, quote unquote, change you, bring
Yeah,
you to
for
the
the
dark
most part.
side.
I like men,
She like the schlong.
and occasionally I want to bump coochies.
You know,
Cool beans.
you should record that.
Okay.
Maybe I will.
You should. Send it to me personally. I won't share it. I promise.
How big is his dick?
What the fuck just happened?
This guy
I know.
asked all of that.
I know. He does. I know.
I rarely get caught off guard, but that caught me a little
7
bit.
to 8.
It's doable.
How long is 7 to 8?
No. Just listen.
No.
When she says the words, it's doable.
Don't matter.
It's just doable.
Because some bitches will say 7 inches is small, and I'd be like,
Yeah, but
your pussy is, I don't know, but...
she said it's
Bitch, you ain't gotta
doable.
walk.
What's the necessary need? What's the necessary need or use for him? You know, like what's the necessary? Like, why do you like keep him around? Is it just because like he's there and he's convenient?
Okay,
Like he's
so-
convenient
okay.
dick. There we go. She's
He
comfortable.
makes her
with it.
happy for no reason.
And fellas, I'm telling you right there, yo. That's when it doesn't matter if your fucking dick is big or not. You have any idea? Like 80 to 70% of women are sitting around because they're comfortable and they're safe with a guy, and he makes them just feel a nice way. He's not an asshole,
I'm
and they.
happy with him.
There we go.
How she feels being comfortable while having sex. Because women, they don't really comprehend this concept.
I got you because I know exactly what he thinking.
So can you just
That's what the fuck. How do you know what the hell he thinking? I have no idea what the hell he thinking.
about to say, just switch
Because
chairs.
I honestly talk to him and I listen to him, and no funny shit. As a man, he enlightens me like with the way that y'all think. Her response is gonna be different from mine, but I just pay attention to him. Okay, Francis, I'm listening to you. I'm sorry.
Sometimes the only way to get back to that mental is to get that sexual frustration out.
That's a fact. Why isn't it? This is like the third female I heard that don't masturbate.
Going to the deep portal if we keep going down this road.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Rhinos and Aliens, to the 93rd episode of the Rhinos and Aliens Show, your number one podcast in Western New York. I'm your host, as always, Xaynah Damien, and to the left of me is...
The Don Dotto of all Dons. Hello.
Along with us, we have a guest today, and to the right of me is...
Damien Michaels.
And, of course, we have, as always...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Conscience. See, that's what you did differently last time. That's why I was like, oh, okay. I felt left out.
It didn't. I don't know.
That's why we said.
Oh, you mean the episode that you rolled your eyes
I didn't
at me?
really. I wasn't. Was that last? No,
like-
he's talking about. He's talking about my
every
interview.
episode.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
You always.
He
Me and
just
you
coming
always
at the
get
wrong
into it.
time.
I hate it here.
Yeah, I get into it before the show starts.
What? We literally get into it. If I have to pick her up, we get into it in the car.
He lying. We hold hands in the car. He's literally lying.
We do hold hands.
We don't talk.
We do. But it's because of the music. It's because you always taking my phone.
But you just lied.
No, because we hold hands, but we still argue.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's so cute. That's cute though.
No lie. She would literally take my phone and be like, "What's the code?" like, damn.
No, I said, can I see your phone?
No.
And you said, sure.
No.
I asked.
Oh, you talking about her?
Who is he saying no to?
I thought you say no to me.
I was just saying no for all males on the planet universally to the phone being asked for.
I agree with him.
Like I said,
I don't go through phones, but shit, we just be rocking out to music. But hey.
Yeah, we do, but you, as soon as you get in the car and I play music, she be like, "What's your code?" and I won't get the phone back until I tell her. So it's literally, that's where we argue. That's literally where it
We
starts.
don't even argue.
And then it's the music you play, because it sometimes it be the country shit.
What?
You be rocking country music in this man's car.
You really just gonna fucking put
Yeah,
my
I'm
shit
throwing
out
it
there on
under the bus.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't listen to country music. He's lying.
It's probably a few
He's
tracks.
fucking I was listening
my
to
phone.
Halsey. And if you feel like Halsey is country, then fuck you.
I'm pretty sure Donyhal knows the difference between Halsey and country.
I don't.
Halsey, I have 2 songs with Halsey, and she a freak bitch.
Okay, do you know who Sunny Harnett is? She's beautiful. Please tell me you know who she is, and her voice is amazing.
But does it have a country accent?
No, it's R&B. So he's just capping.
I don't know, X. I feel like you would put a country song or two in there.
Remember the summer night when we went to the water and she had the fucking ox? You remember?
I remember.
When your friends judge you because of the type of music you listen to.
There's no judgment, but I'm saying I understand. Do you understand why we
There's
argue
no judgment,
now?
but we argue. That's, you know what?
It is his car, just saying.
Wait.
Oh, so
Move
now
on.
it's ours.
Moving
So
on.
now it's ours.
Let's get into it. What topics we got today?
Well, to start off, do you guys know who the Mountain is from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
No.
Thor. I'm not going to butcher his last name. Thorby.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Okay, well, he is a massive, I believe, 6'7" man. 6'8". He is full Viking blood, no doubt about it. He just broke the deadlift world record for lifting 1,105 pounds from his home in Iceland.
How much does he weigh? Do you know? Like, how
It's-
big is he?
I believe he's around 390, 400.
Because most really tall men,
That's stupid. It's just stupid.
Most tall men.
are skinny. I don't know. Like, most really tall men, like 6'5".
Oh, no,
and
this
up.
dude is massive.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Ever since 2012, he has finished third or better in the World Strongest Man competition, including a victory in 2018.
I want to know how many calories he eats a day. I'm about to go look him up. when I get home.
10,000.
Wow.
I didn't even know he competed. I thought he was just an actor. I didn't know he was a beast.
The last fact, I did not know that. I thought he was just an actor too.
Wow, that's amazing.
And if you watch the video, you could look it up online. The most popular is the ESPN one. When he lifts the 1,100 pounds, he does it with ease. To where he, obviously you could tell it's a record, but he picks it up like a regular person at the gym is somewhat struggling, but he holds that shit for the 5 seconds and then he drops it like it's nothing.
Not I.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to add another 50 pounds to it and he would have been able to do it.
Beast.
But I didn't know the last part. Ever since 2012, at least top 3.
That's every year. That's fucking 8 years. That's
Yep.
a long ass time.
That's crazy.
There's a reason why.
And he won, you said, in 2018?
And yeah, in 2018, he won the entire thing.
I'm with her, man. I want to know what he eating.
Well,
A
Steak.
lot of protein.
I don't know his
Spaghetti.
diet, but I just remember from one of the articles, it is over 10,000 calories a day. And for a 390-pound man who is in shape, that makes sense. There's no way you're going on a 2,000 calorie diet being that big. You would literally starve.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to calculate.
He probably eat like raw eggs.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you guys remember?
He really pour the whole egg in there. Like,
Nah,
all
You mean the
12?
whole? You mean the whole carton?
a lot of
Yeah,
people do
damn
that.
near.
You crack it, put it in the cup. Crack it, put it in the cup.
And they just
crack
keep
it,
going and they
it's-
drink it.
And he probably eats 6 meals a day.
No.
Well, you know, Michael Phelps at his peak, he was consuming 6,000 to 8,000 calories.
Yeah, that was his pizzas and stuff, and I don't even know. Like,
But when you think about how many calories he's burning when he's swimming, this dude won
Yeah.
eight gold medals in one Olympics.
Listen, my trainer. Well, I just recently got a trainer. She told me like I don't lose as much weight as I want to, or my weight isn't balanced because I don't consume enough calories. So I just hold on to my fat. Like I just store it, basically.
Well-
and I don't even consume damn near like 1,200 calories a day because I skip meals. It's bad as fuck. It's all bad.
We'll talk about that off camera.
I already know I'm gonna get roasted. Oh my god.
You know you done fucked up, right?
I'm the villain like always.
It's good. You're not the villain in this case.
Okay, now this is where the audience members are going to see the photos of Jay Cutler. And a lot of people dog Jay Cutler. And I just want to point out it's not easy to become a starter in any professional league. But this is what his ex said why she's divorcing him. The Hill star who married Cutler in 2013 when he was a quarterback for the Chicago Bears. She thought he was lined up for a demanding career as a sports broadcaster after he hung up the cleats. But sources say after the broadcasting career faltered, the ever ambitious, whatever her fucking name is, announced in late April that the pair were splitting because she found him unmotivated and even lazy, while he found that he had a penchant for hanging out with his 3 kids and taking care of the animals on his Tennessee farm. So just to put this in reference, he made $120 million in his professional career in the NFL, and now he just wants to take care of his kids and the animals on his farm, and that's considered unmotivated and lazy.
He's comfortable. He did what the fuck he had to do. Come on, you sound like a gold digger. Just shut the fuck up. You just sound like a gold digger.
She wants $5 million for a mansion.
You want a mansion. Come on now.
Yes, and
When did living comfortably become a problem?
and now in the next photo, after filing for a divorce, she wanted him to pay $5 million so he could buy a mansion. In response, he froze all his bank accounts so she couldn't access the money and told her to get a job.
He
Now
should've said bitch.
She's a fucking actress.
Well, technically, she does have a job. She has, depending on the time of the year, 3 to 5 projects running. But the whole point is she's on camera saying that I can pay for whatever I want. I don't need your money. But now when she wants a divorce, she wants,
$5 million.
yeah.
Girl,
Better go get a condo.
baby, listen.
Better go relax.
there must have been a prenuptial agreement in here, because why isn't she even getting half? Or why is because
Because he's a smart man.
Because there's got to be a prenup. He must have seen this coming a mile away, because
She's one of the stars from the Hills TV show from MTV, and you know how all those women are.
yeah, you make sure you get a
Yeah.
prenup with them. So she probably got, I don't know, maybe 100 or 200 grand to just go away or something like that.
Yeah.
She ain't happy.
Are you signing a prenup?
What do you mean?
If you were to get married, would you sign a prenup?
Fuck yes.
It depends on my situation. Like, it depends on my situation. Like, and yeah, like if I had a lot of money, and if I had a lot.
I mean, if you couldn't predict the future, like not knowing your circumstances.
You
a
went
couple
from
years
no
ago,
to yeah.
Like if you had to answer that question right now, would you choose to sign one or not?
Real quick, can I just add, what are we doing as the definition of marriage? Is the definition of marriage being with your loved one, or is the definition of marriage a law for financial reasons?
I think now that neither one of that matters, because the only way to answer her question is to have a legal binding marriage, a real one. Like, there's no superficial marriage. You got to be really married for her question to hold any weight.
I don't think he means like it being superficial. I think he means like actually marrying for the love or for the money. Like,
Well, I feel,
That's the problem.
go ahead.
no, marriage was supposed to be something for love, and then once the government got involved, it strictly became for financial reasons. Meaning, if you're married, you get tax benefits. If you have kids while married, you get even more tax benefits. So now, a lot of the times, marriage is used for financial reasons, which dates back to European empires. They only got married to combined wealth and
that's true because there are countless common law.
But this is what I'm saying. Back then in Europe, there's two types of marriage. There was the royal marriage, which is documented, and then there was the poor peasant marriage, which was simply out of resources and love. But there was no legalization for the most part.
You were pretty much like, oh, this is either my husband or my wife.
Yeah.
But no one could. Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I'm saying, how are we viewing marriage? Because that changes my answer. If our marriage is just the ring and our knowledge of it, then obviously, what's the point of the concept of a prenup?
Okay, so let's say in this, for this instance, marriage is the whole nine, the love and the
law.
The law. So
Okay.
let's just say we're in that. He found this woman that he wants to be with for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know if you had to decide right now, would you sign a prenup or not sign a prenup? Like, if you could choose a safe answer beforehand, what would you say?
Prenup.
No, I don't know.
No, because, bro, it works both ways. What if the woman blows up?
I'm signing a prenup.
No, but
I just want to know what y'all doing.
Listen, see, the thing is, y'all not looking at different situations. Like, everybody don't get prenups because some people ain't even worth a goddamn prenup to start off with. You get what I'm saying? So when you even think about a prenup, most of the time it's because said man has a lot in stake and he doesn't want this said woman who came out of nowhere to take it from him.
But
a lot of times it's not the lady that the shorty that helped you get there. The shorty that helped you get there, you don't give her a prenup. You just get married. You marry the shorty that helped you get there.
But
The one that hops on once you get there,
Prenup.
you prenup her ass.
But this is what I'm so fucked up. What if a woman sees the greatness in you and knows it's just going to be time for you to become great? So she's taking the long view. So you're thinking, oh, she's the ride or die chick, when no, she's just the smart bitch.
I mean,
Because think about Michael Jordan's wife. She was with him beforehand. Do you think it took a lot of brains to see that he's a talented basketball player and he's a little different from the rest? Any decently smart woman, let alone a very smart woman, can put two to two together. And I know for a fact he didn't marry her for the looks. And what are women better at than men? Mental mind games.
Oh wait, baby, wait.
yeah, but no,
'Cause I'm about
no,
to
no,
say
no,
some
no, no,
real
no,
shit.
no. When it comes down to it, if you ever notice with the athletes when they get inside that world of fame and everything, Cookie for Jordan I think was that her name? Was that
Cookie
his
is his
name?
son, right?
No,
Or was that my?
I don't know.
No, his son is named after him.
I thought he had a gay son.
No, that's Magic
That's
Johnson.
Magic.
Oh, okay.
That's their safe zone. Like that's why they hold those women down because that's their safe. Just the same way as like LeBron James, like he's got like his old. That's like their safe zone because they know that girl's was there before the rest of those heathens came out of the woodworks.
Can we not use LeBron James' wife, though? Because there's rumors about her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's not. I'm just basically.
Let's say Kobe Bryant's wife.
Okay, but basically the girl that was there before the fame.
Yes. But I agree with what you're saying, but I'm also saying I hate when we look at women and say just because they were there before, they're not smart enough to see the hindsight of a man.
And this is why I say, like, I'm going to disagree just a little teeny bit. A lot of us women we overplay our part or give the wrong energy to the wrong people. Like, a lot of us, you know how you said women can see the potential in a man beforehand so they know to invest in him and blah, blah, blah. That's very true in some instances. But then a lot of cases, us women, we really do a lot and invest and, pour into people who we don't really see shit in and we just hope, or maybe we think that they're going to be somebody, but for real, they just really don't even give a fuck about anything,
Like,
And that could be something that us women do because, I'm still younger. I'm speaking on like past experiences, even for myself. So maybe it's just an age thing or something like that. But I just feel like shit. Sometimes we're complete licks, and we don't even know it. We think we're taking care of a man who really is going to be someone great, and the whole time they're a bullshitter.
that's why I say take care of the shorty that rides with you till you get all the way there, because that's the shorty that's gonna do all the other things that the other shorties are not. They're there to like spend your money and everything, and then there's one shorty that's gonna manage
Literally
your
give
money
you all and give you hers.
and make kids for you. You know what I'm saying? So,
By the way, I'm honestly speaking from a conscious perspective.
No, I feel you. I'm gonna agree with him though.
But at the same time, using what you guys are saying, Michael Jordan's wife is what you guys are explaining, the ride or die. Mm-hmm. But what ended up happening at the end of the day because he didn't sign the prenup? You know how much money he lost?
That's why I said I'm signing a prenup.
Million in what year? Which, when you count inflation, is the equivalent of over 300 million now. Is any woman worth 300 million? I'm going to leave that up for you guys to answer.
I'm about to say.
When you have, depending on how much money you have in your account.
But
I'm not. She's got a good point. Like when a wife gets like 100 million or 50 million in a divorce, it ain't like dudes like, oh man, like it's like, yeah, I went through a divorce.
Yeah.
And he recouped that in what?
Can you
the next year or two?
Can you imagine what she went through in their marriage? We don't know what they go through.
okay, Jeff Bezos, do you think his wife deserved 32.5 billion? I don't give a fuck how
Who's
much.
that?
Who?
Jeff Bezos' wife,
Who's Jeff Bezos?
He like,
Amazon CEO and founder,
Yeah.
Okay, what did his wife do?
shit.
Nothing.
divorced him and got 32.5 billion. I don't give a fuck.
Why did she divorce him?
No, why didn't he get a prenup? Like,
A bill. Can you
Why
wait?
is the-
I have a
why you
question
get a
because I
prenup?
don't know too much about this. Can you
Okay.
like decide to like
you can
cancel your
flip it.
prenup? Like, can you?
I mean, like in midway,
you,
like
like-
if you're married, you can.
can y'all both like be like, okay, we don't want this prenup anymore?
yeah, but
But that's a lot of legal
Yeah, it's a lot of-
No,
ramifications.
I just want to know if it's possible because I just didn't know if that was a possibility.
Yeah.
by both parties at any given time.
Yeah.
That's scary.
long as you
To
both
be
agree, though.
honest, I feel like I would, especially being a business owner, I want to protect my assets. And honestly, you never know people's true color. Even your own family does you shady, and you will hope that this person that you're so madly in love with for however many years would never do something to you that you want to get a divorce or something. But who knows? I just feel like that's something I would do to protect my assets. Especially because what if I have children or some shit?
That's why men are afraid of marriage, and if you even most men won't even tell you, or some of them will, but it's not even like they're afraid of the women. They're afraid of everything they work for just going bye-bye
But this-
during a divorce.
But this comes back to society. This always comes back to society. It's, at least in America, it's ingrained in us to where if you don't propose to the woman should move on. There's a certain time limit. Move on.
Yeah, like you got that pressure button, especially like if all her friends start getting married and,
And
stuff.
and bring in the friends.
yeah,
You get married, but he wants a prenup. Oh, why does he want a prenup?
Yeah.
Does he not trust you?
Yeah.
Does he not love you? Are you not good enough? Is he thinking about the next one? Maybe I just don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
But that's a dumb ass bitch for you, because a bitch that's gonna come to her friends and listen to what they say before she comes to you and ask you for real how you feel, and you giving her your honesty, and she can tell. A woman knows when you're being genuine, especially if you come to her like that and you like, you know what, mama, I want a prenup.
Mama.
And she like, all right, papa, all right, cool, but for what? What do you need a prenup for? You think I'm gonna do something to you? If he like, come on now, like,
Yeah,
that's
all
how
you gotta do is literally just
you know what I'm
communication.
saying? If you really give a fuck about me, and maybe this shit won't last. If it don't, I would just hope that the way I loved you in this shit, you gonna, you know, what you put in is what you get out.
I would say in a perfect world, everybody would think like that, but I'm also thinking about how many people thoroughly think marriage out,
And
let
that's
alone.
exactly why I'm protecting my assets, because even if I fucking think the shit through, or I think shit is gonna work out, and I never have a doubt in my husband, what the fuck if something happens? Then what? You know what I'm saying? After divorce, if you know we need to figure some shit out, or whatever the case may be, we could figure that out then. But am I just supposed to rely on all this hard work and dedication? I put all my time into this shit. Now, if my man invests in me, you know, it's different. Then then maybe I would sign a prenup. I guess the situation is different. But if I had to choose, I'm signing a prenup, because I'm just gonna protect myself and play it safe. Because if I don't, then what? Then what if my business doesn't do good or some shit, and then he get half of my shit and I don't have shit? No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna protect myself.
But I also want to say this. I'm not just speaking from a man's perspective, because my mom was literally fucked from a divorce. I'm speaking from both parties, because you literally don't know what life. The moment a person gets married and they say, "Oh, I know I'm gonna be with this person for the rest of my life," you don't know.
Yeah.
Can you tell me 100% you know what's going to happen tomorrow?
A
You have a
second from now,
plan.
right.
You have a plan. But how often do your plans come to fruition exactly how you laid it out?
Exactly. No plan ever goes exactly as followed. Like, you don't know. Yeah. So you just you have to prepare for shit like that. And then your backup plans have to have backup plans. And sometimes you need backup plans for them bitches too. Shit.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say we should all give praise to Jay Cutler because he's the reason why we got on. I don't even know how we got to where we got, but
I hope that
'Cause
bitch
bitches
found a
ain't
job
shit.
like
Oh,
you told her
hoes
to.
oh, because we were saying did he get a prenup, and most likely he didn't.
It's because bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Okay,
They lick on the nuts and suck the dick.
I have some information about the vagus nerve. We've been talking about discussing this for months now, so we're finally going to get it off our chest. I know Piper did some of his own research, so he could butt in at any point or after. Mm-hmm. Well, first off, I just want to say, can we all take a deep breath? When you guys get a chance, hug a friend. And after that,
I don't like none of you niggas.
reach for the ceiling and stretch your limbs in the most purest way possible.
He said when you get a chance.
Yeah,
Give me your
He
energy.
said hug a friend and then do that. I'm gonna wait till I get home.
Give me your energy.
Wait, have you no funny shit before we get deep into this?
Dave,
Okay.
you making a spirit
Have you
bomb? Go
ever
ahead.
have you ever
He's a big DBZ fan.
when the sun is rising or whatever, have you ever stood outside and like put your bare feet on the grass and like face the sun and just like stood there and
Soak
just,
up
like,
the energy.
like literally at dawn?
Grounded.
I haven't done it in a while, but I know the feeling because
I never did that.
Because with my night sleep
You
cycle.
never?
Huh?
You say you never did?
Oh,
that?
I said
I
that.
do that.
I
I
never
said,
did
have
that.
you ever like?
Oh, have you ever?
I could just
No, you feel. Those are the moments where I really believe in the film Avatar, where you feel one and
the
connected
earth, yeah.
with the earth.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
I'm gonna have to try this.
Okay. The steps I just discussed, each of these simple acts creates a sense of calm and comfort. And this is all, from what we know, mostly due to the vagus nerve. Each of these simple acts bestows a sense of calm and comfort. Each works in soothing and magic parts by activating a complicated system of nerves that connects from the brain to the heart, to the gut, to the immune system, and many of the organs. This system is known collectively as the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is also called the 10th cranial nerve, which is the longest, largest, and most complex of the cranial nerves. In some ways, it's also the least understood. Experts have linked its activity to systems changing in people with migraine headaches, inflammatory bowel disease, depression, epilepsy, arthritis, and many other common ailments. Vagus is Latin for wandering, which is apparent when one considers all the different parts of the body the vagus nerve reaches. So far, it's been linked to the face, digestive tract, heart, lungs, and immune system. There's a massive bioelectrical and biochemical series of events that the vagus nerve is responsible for, and all that is almost impossible to map. The nerve is the governor of the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps control the body's relaxation responses. It releases immune system common chemicals. Pick almost any common medical condition that's made worse by stress or inflammation. Anything from asthma attacks, headaches, to arthritis and inflammatory bowel disease. And there's research showing that the vagus nerve stimulation can help treat it, or at the very least relieve its symptoms. This stimulation is being explored to aid, if not cure, a wide range of diseases and illnesses. This is the main reason why massage and yoga are so effective and calming. These are the least invasive ways of stimulating this kind of nerve, but still gets it done with firm pressure or deep stretch reaching these pressure receptors. This is why light touching and stroking is arousing, while a bear hug or powerful handshakes are inherently soothing, because both of these acts are reaching the vagus nerve. Deep breathing meditation is another form of reaching your vagus nerve, which is why meditation and yoga go so hand in hand. Now, to put this out there, there's still a lot about the vagus nerve science doesn't understand, but the doctors uncover more of its secrets every day, discovering and revealing new and more effective ways to relieve pain, inflammation, sadness, and disease.
Right. Well, some pretty cool information.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know if this is gonna sound stupid or not, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. So the
Like
vagus
teachers
nerve.
say, you can't ask a stupid question.
All right. Well, does the vagus nerve like contribute to the feelings of like butterflies in your tummy and shit like that, or when you get mad and you like your head starts to hurt? That
Well, honestly,
is it related to that?
I don't even know a scientist can 100% say it is, but since it's part of that part of the body, it might be.
Okay, because I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it goes as far as like.
Well, normally
know.
when you get those butterflies too, at least for me, whenever I get those butterflies, it's normally when I am softly being touched, personally.
Me, I don't know. It's just a feeling when I'm in, I don't know.
I think when she said the butterfly thing, I actually think she hit it right on the head. Because when I was like researching it, when you feel the butterfly effect, right? If you notice, like, it's in your stomach. You say you feel butterflies here, right?
But then it goes throughout the body,
it doesn't
right?
start there. Like, it's because you're about to do something and you're thinking about something. You're like, oh shit, this is about to happen, and then it goes down
you
here.
feel it. Yeah, you feel what you're thinking about. Then you feel it
And
on your
so
chest, like,
you
oh
get the
shit,
chills.
and then you feel the butterflies.
And the vagus nerve starts here and it connects
Throughout the entire body.
the guts,
And-
but the main area is right here in your
Intestines.
gut, your second gut, like
Yeah.
in the brain gut axis, what they call it, that second gut. That's basically like from your brain all the way down to here, and that's your vagus nerve, basically.
Okay, I figured that because I'm thinking, well, if you're stressed out, like my mom has like an autoimmune disease or whatever, so when she stresses out, her legs swell. And go ahead.
Just calm down.
I'm talking too fast,
No.
or I'm using filler words.
Filler words.
Okay, that's fine. Just say filler words.
Okay.
So my mom has an autoimmune disease, and sometimes when she's super stressed out, her body swells in different areas, or she gets a fever and stuff like that. If the vagus nerve connects to all of the underlying health issues that you named before, why wouldn't they relate to the little things like butterflies and stuff? That's what I was thinking.
By the way, I'm just
No,
speaking.
that's just where my idea came from.
I'm just saying, scientifically speaking, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, it does,
Yeah, no,
and we
I
don't
feel you.
100%
I'm just
know.
telling you where the question came from.
Yeah, but it makes sense because think about it. If something as simple as breathing can affect such a massive aspect of your life,
And your health, then why wouldn't it something so small?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when I have butterflies in my stomach, I have to, like for a minute, breathe and then get my shit back together and I'll be fine. But yeah.
so Piper, what is there anything different that you looked up that you could add to that, or you just want to expand on?
It's also it's responsible for like your involuntary parasympathetic nervous system, and basically on a hidden level, what it does is it makes you care more when your vagus nerve is like basically more active. So a person that has a more active vagus nerve is going to be the person that steps in if they see a bigger person bullying that person.
They're more one with their emotions. They're more sensual.
Yeah, and they can more or less feel what's going on between two other people, and they're the person that's going to act on it. They're not the person that's going to feel the same thing and sit back and not act on it. That's a person with the underactive.
So the vagus nerve attributes to their character too, to an extent.
Yes.
Well, this is my.
Huggers!
Was it-
Huggers!
No, I was gonna say this is why. Personally, whenever I do hug, I immediately feel better. And another thing too, have you ever met a professional yogi who is, at least on average, a dickhead? I don't know. I've never heard of one single
A
one.
yogi?
A yogi is a professional person who practices yoga.
That's so funny, yogi. No, I mean, I figured that's what it was, but
Yeah.
yogi?
Yeah. Or what's the most peaceful religion?
Islam.
No.
Okay, I was being funny. I was being funny.
He said no. Oh.
What is it, Buddhism?
Yeah.
No, goddamn.
It's Buddhism.
Yeah.
Okay, I said Islam because I was being funny because we will.
He said no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, initially, if I was on camera, I would have probably responded like him because I wasn't directly looking at you, so I saw your.
He said no.
I was being funny. Buddhism. Okay, but keep going.
No, that's the most peaceful. And why is it the most peaceful? Because the whole point of the religion is to, what is it specifically called? To reach
Enlightenment? What do you mean?
Yes, enlightenment. Was Gandhi a Buddhist?
Yeah.
The vagus nerve, I wish we would. I like that topic. I'm going to go home and read about the vagus nerve.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
she's a liar.
You're gonna just.
I'm not a liar.
You're gonna notice that it's the vagus nerve is connected to like your spleen, is connected to your digestive system, is connected to your spleen, your liver, your bladder. It's connected to every.
It's like when you're about to get a whooping.
I feel like all that shit makes sense. Like, you know how I get when I'm mad. Like, you know when I'm like, you have to like, I get warm. All the feelings, you know. I completely understand. Like the vagus nerve just makes. Everything makes sense. Damn
depression too, like depression and people who get like anxiety,
cabin fever.
It's because of their
the vagus nerve.
That's why they always tell you if somebody's if you see somebody having an anxiety attack, what do you tell them to do?
Breathe.
Exactly.
Yeah, all that shit.
And that's gonna do what? That's gonna calm down their vagus nerve so that they can basically communicate.
But it's also not just breathe, full breaths, full calm breaths.
Deep,
deep breaths.
Yeah.
Full deep breaths.
They start hyperventilating and shit. Next thing you know, niggas dead.
But seriously speaking, when
my
you
dog used to I used to do that, hyperventilate. My dog, he would, and you literally have to like rub his neck to make him relax.
You have to calm down his vagus nerve.
My dog used to do that.
if possible,
I'm sorry, the one that my dad had.
I somewhat remember that.
Is it
Beagle?
The beagle. Yeah.
Beagles are so cute.
They are, but they have very bad health problems.
Yeah.
I don't want a beagle.
Genetics is off. They just money for the veterinarians at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know I was about to say, but this doesn't make sense because of the coronavirus. If possible, over the next couple of weeks, pay attention to the people who are more insightful, more content, who are just more calm, and see what they do, how they just breathe. Do they breathe through their nose or do they breathe through their mouth? And keep track to little stuff like that. And little stuff like that, you'll be able to notice, okay, so
basically pay attention to me.
They have a better vagus nerve than
I'm
others.
Probably the most calmest person in here. Probably the most crazy.
Yeah. No,
okay.
I'm like,
I would say if you know me.
Fuck.
But I would say this, bro. I would say that's more a personality trait. Because I feel if you were more one with your vagus nerve, you would be a straight hippie.
Yeah, you'd be zen like as fuck.
You would be a Buddha.
No.
Well, for me, use me as an example. If I haven't stretched in a while, or I'm not breathing properly, or I haven't had a hug in a hot minute,
you'll be a serial killer.
No, I'm going to be pissed the fuck off. You just asked me a question, I'm going to snap. Like, bitch, get the fuck off of me.
You'll be a serial killer.
You know what? Now that you brought that up, I think we adjust our vagus nerve based on our environment and what it is we're trying to actually execute. Because if you think about it, right?
I like where this is going.
From our aspect all the way to like the Illuminati, the way they're trained to numb down that vagus nerve so that they can do whatever it is they need to do to fulfill defense contracts and so on. Because people always ask, why does this people do this and why do corporations do that? And it's because like corporations are run by people who just their vagus nerve they inactive. They don't give a damn if you die.
Or another way to look is you're numbing the vagus nerve is equivalent to numbing your moral code.
Yeah, and you best believe when you go out to a dinner and these people are getting ready to invest $100,000, $500,000, millions of dollars in a contract, and they go out and they have these dinners and stuff, and they're talking to you. They're looking for small cues for you to
take advantage.
Not only that, they want to see your vagus nerve. It's just like somebody on the street testing you or testing your heart. They want to see if you're somebody that's going to get to a certain point and see something going on in a laboratory or see some paperwork that you're just supposed to sign your name on and shut the hell up, or you somebody with that active vagus nerve that cares. Are you fucking Erin Brockovich? Are you going to blow shit the fuck up? Ooh. You get what I'm saying?
So do you think it's subconscious or it's a conscious thing? Like, do they consciously look for the like, do they pay attention to the fact that, I mean, granted, they're looking for the characteristics in the people, but do you think they focus on the body language or how they might be moving and focusing on if they get nervous in those meetings and shit like that? Or even in any type of relationship, whether it's business or personal, do you think some people purposely look for that?
Yes.
Or do you think people can just gravitate towards the one that I guess is most comforting to them or something?
No, because it's consciously, you have to be able to look for it subconsciously in another person. That's like, I'm trying to look for the profession. Like a law firm. Law firms look for what? You cannot be coming in there with any vagus nerve about any kind of heart if you're working for a big name defense attorney that just defends
you have to
scumbags
stay
and
calm
pedophiles
either
and
way,
all that,
right?
right?
Well,
when they interview you, they're going to try and find out if you're an individual that, you know what I'm saying? It's either you're a go-getter and you're going to stomp on people's fucking necks like the rest of them, or...
Either you can stay calm under pressure, you can't.
Yeah.
But I would say if a person is ignorant to this knowledge, but they're just genuinely gifted about picking up cues like this, it can be subconscious.
That's what I'm thinking. That's,
but if it's...
I think something else just came up. I think if you use repetition, you can numb the vagus nerve, because it seems like through cadence and through consistent training in the Army, we train our soldiers to numb down their vagus nerve to the point where they just simply follow orders. And that's why they come back fucked up with PTSD, depression, and anxiety, because their vagus nerve was like basically hijacked. And then
but I would say a better example would be assassin in terms of person who can numb the vagus nerve without it affecting them to a degree like a soldier.
I would agree with that.
Oh, you mean the one that just he actually returns to normal afterwards?
Yeah.
Me.
Let's say Jason Bourne before he got fucked up in the head.
You. Okay.
I feel like if some people in the military or armed forces were, their biggest nerve was trained, I guess properly enough for them to, whatever the case may be, then they wouldn't come back with PTSD.
But I would also make the case just with the Army.
Well, they would, but not as many, because they would be more conscious of how to stay calm and like.
But
PTSD can happen with you in any situation.
Yeah, it can happen with anybody. I know what post-traumatic stress disorder is, but what I'm saying is if they were trained differently, maybe, or they were more conscious of what the vagus nerve can do and how to move, move with it, then they wouldn't come back as fucked up.
You know what that's called? That's why there's different branches. You got the Army for the weak motherfuckers, and then you got the Delta Force for the hitmen, the assassins.
I don't think they even have. They can't have vagus nerves. They don't have time to have their vagus nerves send their pressure
like the
all the way up
Navy,
and
Air
then all the way
Force,
down and do all that stuff.
Well,
they don't have time for
Marines.
The who?
The Delta Force.
that.
That's
The
they're-
berets, the dudes that go in
They're technically not part of the government.
like
Okay,
black
'cause,
ops.
okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
The undercover
Yeah,
ones.
dudes that just go in, kill a whole bunch of people, and then they just scatter right back out, and they just go back to doing.
Now, this is the real question, really quick, before we go on to the next topic. Do you believe you could be fully one with your vagus nerve and just like, let's say, a Naruto situation, be able to know when to turn it on and off?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to know your body well enough, you will learn your body well enough. I mean,
I would say
that's why people do what they do. That's why people meditate. That's why people astral project. That's why people do all of that shit.
I was going to say that's a true form of meditation.
But you have to really want and be at peace with that. Like, you have to build your life around finding that.
Did anybody see Faster with Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I've seen
The white guy who's trying to kill him, he's a perfect example of a person who's one with his vagus nerve, but he knows when to cut it on and off. Because that white guy, he perfected all the master yoga techniques, and he was technically a Buddhist in spirit, but he was also a hitman.
I don't really remember Faster. I remember watching it, but I don't remember.
Well, just as an example for movie buffs, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I love that movie.
No, Dwayne Johnson, man. That's when he really put on the pounds. Like, yo, if he's not using steroids, all this dude is working out. He is just working out. But let's be honest, if we were females, who would not want to be manhandled by him?
I don't want him touching me. I can't really say that I'm too picky because, like...
But the concept...
I have a preference.
But the concept of a man who's so dedicated, he has built his life around sculpting his body. That's not a turn on.
That's great for him, you know what I'm saying? But physically, he's very attractive. But I'm just saying, I don't know. It depends on how it depends on how it is. You know, I like to be handled a certain way, so I don't know that I would want.
I don't know. I feel if Dwayne
I feel
Johnson,
like you can be small and you can yoke me up a certain way, and I'm be like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You know, but I can't say that he's gonna even intimidate me because he's just too big and he's just too. I don't know. He's Dwayne.
You get yoked up, you be like, all right, nigga, relax.
All right, relax, calm down.
Relax.
Send your ass back to the game plan. Go take care of your kid or something. I'm gonna say, you know, like I'm not. Maybe it's because I know who he is.
yeah, that's
but
a
I don't
type
know.
thing. Okay. Moving on to the next topic. This is I stole this from Damien. Sexual positions is one of the easiest ways to become acquainted with a person. I know we've hinted at this before, but furthermore, it could express the intimacy and type of a relationship. And when I say type of a relationship, meaning if you're only getting fucked doggy style, is that really an intimate relationship?
Men get tired of the same thing.
Unless you got a lot of features. Like if you're
Are we switching on?
you got what she got. If you got like boom, you got this right here, then you got this over here, and then you got like the you know what I'm saying? You got this on top, and then after that you can keep things a little bit interesting in other areas. Give us a reason not to go see the side chick. Like give us a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Well,
Okay,
first,
but what about the women who have all of the shit and the men still cheat?
okay, that's a
I've never
completely
been cheated on.
different.
I can't.
X, we're not going into that. That's completely different topic.
Okay.
We want your opinion on how do you feel? How do you feel about a man who's only having sex with you one way compared to men who switch it up? Does your emotional take in that man change?
Of course. I mean, that's a natural thing. You're gonna feel like the sex is boring. That's gonna affect how.
But what if he is an expert at doggy, or he is an expert at the upside down whatever?
If he an expert and make me feel like, you know, feel in that moment that's you know,
Yeah.
it's a vibe.
What if he could
then that's his
guarantee
thing.
he can make you come every single time in this motherfucking position in 5 minutes or less? And if you fuck for 30, 40 minutes, it's 4 or 5 times. What woman's gonna get sick of that if it's just for sex?
Me.
You.
I don't want to have sex in the same. It feels different for us. Like penetration doesn't always feel the same at every position. Just like to y'all, some
true.
men prefer doggy style versus missionary. Some women prefer certain positions because of how it feels for us too. I don't know if I could deal with one position forever because sometimes I want it to feel different. Even if you make me come a million times, I can make myself come.
I think your relationship, because as we all know, like if it's just like a little wham bam ma'am thank you thing, you're not even thinking as far on into all of that. You're just gonna get in there. You might kiss this, that, and the third, and if she rolls over on her stomach, you tap it, and you get in, you get out, and then you're done.
I'm not
But
gonna
if
say
it's
you
like
you ain't my girl.
you see, and then there's the whole kissing thing where y'all know you need something, you need a little bit more there for the kissing. You just can't be doing it.
If it's like more than
Wait,
a few
I thought we were
talmes,
talking
then
about
it's like,
positions.
well, I'll
You
No,
don't
but-
want one position forever. Damn near.
Yeah, but some men only fucking missionary.
Okay, so you would only do that one position forever, but the woman, how would she feel? Like, y'all don't think she would feel no type of way? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do. Me personally,
No,
I always ask. I ask her what position is her position, because women have a position they come in. Like they don't come in them all. Like a lot of times, there's like a primary position that they can come in. There's
Preferred.
Yeah. Then there's another one they might come in, but there's one they definitely come in.
You're different.
I ask them.
I'm learning. Stop saying shit. I'm just learning. I'm making facial expressions because I'm learning.
I ask them that question right there, and then after I ask them that question right there, I see what they say, and then what else they like after that, and then the secondary stuff. That's what I enjoy. Like if she says, "Oh, I like missionary because I like clitoral stimulation," then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get her off in the clitoral stimulation, and afterwards, all right, now Daddy wants to play around. You know, turn aside, flip over here, do that, hang off the side
Big
of the bed.
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Big facts, big facts.
Yeah, but from your post, I got the perspective of you're speaking out of a typical man. A typical man is not going to put as much effort because you're the type of man who wants to please a woman. So normally women don't get pleased by just one position.
No.
But how? So
I mean, I said it in my interview.
Just ask
For me.
it. Just say it.
In my interview,
Come on.
I look for
if
the emotion that she gives off. So
but what is that emotion? So depending on the emotion she gives off, what emotion does a woman have to give off to where
a
you're
body
only going
language
to
type.
fuck her in one position?
It's a
You're
body-
going to treat her like a fucking whore. What is that? What is that emotion?
it's a body language thing. Like it
Express it. Get
Okay.
the details.
I'm gonna go into a female that I have sex with. Okay. Now she likes body. She likes to get fucked doggy style, only because how I do my.
Oh my
I'm just playing.
God.
No, but truthfully, I would say body language only because you can tell from a woman's body. How do you explain it?
I'm thinking in my head as he explains this. As you're making out with her and you're going to do things and you start taking off your pants and all that, does she turn around and just offer you the doggy style position without you even saying anything? Okay, I understand what he's talking about because
You've been there.
yes, I've had one of these and I completely understand that. And she just likes it that way. So you just kind of just give it to her that way. And if missionary happens, it happens, but it's
Exactly.
very rare that it does happen.
But you can, like I said, you can tell from the body language. Like if she's itching for it, like it's the body movement that she does.
Bitches do
Is-
get the twitch and the wiggling.
Yeah, like you literally can tell. Like you hit it from the back and you grab them hips and she moving all of that. Like you can tell. It's just body language to me, and it's the affection from it also. So
I'm
maybe
trying to
that's just
think
me.
in my head right now. Like I'm over here. Like, do I do a certain position?
I'm
Is there
pretty
something
sure.
that's what I'm in my head thinking? Like, is there one that I like when I'm trying to? I don't think so.
I got a few positions.
I think because I'm a submissive female and shit like that, it's more of a how you want me or where you want me type of thing. Like I let you,
Yeah.
guide me. Like I could initiate anything, but as far as the first position, like I just feel like I let the man kind of put me where he want me.
I know this is going to seem obvious, but is it fair to say it depends on the woman what positions determine the relationship and intimacy? Because for one woman, doggy style for her is just a one night stand. But for another woman, doggy style could be their preferred intimate position.
I feel like it just depends on a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Because what I do is, I mean, again, that goes back to what you said before about whether or not the guy just wants to get his nut off or he wants to get her off. Because if you want to get her off, you got to focus on
Yeah.
what it is she wants in the position she like. That's why I said I asked.
Yeah, because
I want to tip on which one. I don't want to be in this one the whole time.
Right.
And you don't get off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
yeah, well, to go back to the post you made, if a woman gets off from missionary, but the guy doesn't view her in an intimate way, he might only fuck her doggy style, and it's up to the woman to realize that the way he views doggy style is not, or the way he views missionary is not the same way she does.
Correct.
But that's just women being
his
naive.
other girl could be like the two girls that we're talking about.
Who
where she
like
was
it doggy.
And he was like, oh, thinking he's pleasing her. And like, no, you're
Right.
missing.
Right. Right.
Or when he's fucking her doggy, he thinks he's just pleasuring himself, and it's a one night stand, but it's actually becoming intimate for her because that's what she prefers.
From what I'm getting, me and you, we like the pleasure of the females. That's what I'm getting out of it. I guess it just depends on. I don't know. I don't really know. For me, I just like the pleasure.
Well, I do want
That's
to.
why I toot my horn. I don't toot my horn by getting my. You know, like some guys be like, yeah, I got my nut off. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, I just banged her.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. But I look for the
like-
woman's pleasure first.
Yeah, like if I can get her off and this, that, and the third, like
then I'll be happy.
Now I feel like I'm the man.
I'm so proud of you guys. This is why I like you guys. I am proud to say that all my friends that have sex, they please the woman. So thank you guys.
Some of them might be liars too.
You know.
Okay, well, can we talk about
Yeah,
your
you gotta
friends
ask
that
those
please a
women.
man?
You gotta ask those women. You know,
Well, I don't have that many friends.
gotta
though.
get references, but
I guess.
Yeah.
Close friends.
Yes, close friends. Well, this is what I always tell the women. I go in, like, I'm the type of person, I'm pessimistic. So if a chick just wants some dick, I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. I'm just going to let you know. I'm not that good, but if you want to help me get a nut off, fine. And then when we're done, she says, oh my God, you're so amazing. I'm like, okay. And I've never had a bad situation. Their reactions go off of that. They have red spots when we're done. Their legs are shaking. They came once or twice. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm good. But it's just, am I really good or all these men shit?
That's the true question. That's really the true question.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because I tell females all the time. I mean, I'm all right.
I feel like
I think it's this. You're good. We're good simply by default because we're actually simply trying
To please the woman.
Yeah,
So,
it could be that also.
You're not
yeah.
like you're awesome, not like you're over the top, super, super good, but you're just simply good because you're trying to actually please the
It's
female.
in this scenario, it just might be the attempt of the action
Yeah, like fucking,
rather than the action itself.
effort.
Yeah, literally. That's literally it.
I don't know. Good
I
dick
didn't
is
even
good dick.
realize they could fucking come until I was like fucking 18, 19 years old. I didn't realize they could come, and until then I was just like fucking them. And as they were going, they was moaning and stuff. I was like, this is her. She's enjoying the sex. I'm enjoying the sex. She's saying, she's feeling on me. I come. It's over. We had sex, and that was it.
Well, for me, the reason why I was always confused because my first couple situations, the woman was so expressive. Oh man, I'm with a bitch faking it. Because when I was growing up,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I lost my puberty later than all my friends. So all my friends already experienced that moment where a bitch is faking it. So my first 3 times, a woman was very expressive, and I'm like, oh my God, this is what they're talking about. This is what they're talking
You're so cute. You should see your face.
I suck at sex. I'm going to be the guy who sucks at sex.
And it's crazy because I know exactly who you're talking about.
But after I found out that these women have had sex with other men, and some of these men didn't get the same expressions, I'm like, And then after that, every other single woman, I started, instead of looking at obvious moans and noise, I start paying to the subtle details of if you pleasured a woman or not. Maybe they are just really expressive women. Because there are screamers out there. There are women who make some weird, ugly ass faces out there.
Oh, them shits be ugly.
I'll never forget it.
I should make a sex tape.
You should.
Nothing is more horrifying than a woman who looks like she's taking a shit and she's screaming like a fucking banshee. It's very disturbing.
It is. It fucks up everything.
Yeah. But hey, at least I know it wasn't me in that situation. Or it was me, depending how you view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so are we ready for the next topic? Unless you guys have anything else to say?
Everybody good? Everybody look like they got the blank ass face.
Okay, so now we're going to
Everybody
talk,
and they thoughts.
because they're all thinking about those
Yo,
one person.
for real. Especially her. She all in her thoughts.
Oh, I have to fake this orgasm with another nigga. Come on.
All she been talking about is that dick all day.
Yo,
all
for
day.
real. She like, wait until I get home. I'm gonna talk to him about something.
Okay, so right now we're going to talk about tardigrades. What is this? Are you guys asking? What the fuck? What's that?
Tardigrades?
Yes, that's how you pronounce it. I even looked that one up. It might be the most resilient organism on planet Earth. It was first discovered in 1983 by Japanese scientists in Antarctica in frozen moss. These millimeter animals look like a cross between caterpillars and teddy bears. Teddy
I wanna
bears,
see.
which is why they're sometimes called
Animal shits.
water bears. These organisms were kept in frozen state for 30 years until 2014. When they were unfrozen, they came back to life. So the scientists reported they were dead, and then they literally came back to life and reproduced like nothing ever.
Oh my goodness. I love shit like this.
Let me see.
I love it.
Let me see.
It's so ugly and cute at the same time, and it's only like a millimeter.
Ugh. These shits remind me of the Men in Black. Ugh.
I actually think Men in Black got inspiration from that, by the way.
Them shits is ugly. Cute.
Well, some people think.
Because they're little? Is that why?
They just
It's a millimeter.
Well, some people think mentally. The proper whatever term that is, they look cute too. So hey, that's
What?
people do because they just slow like that.
Something
You're
that's so
right.
ugly
You're
that-
right.
Excuse me?
No, the people, not them, not them. The people. The people are slow for thinking that.
I'm slow. I'm just saying, like, I ain't got no beef today. I don't get it. That's what I was about to say. Like, what's going on? All right, what we talking about? Okay, what about them?
Okay, getting back to it, when they were unfrozen, they came back to life and reproduced as if life never stopped. These animals can quite literally survive
Never stop.
in all conditions.
You more.
They have been discovered in every single ocean, in every single continent, in every single climate, and every single latitude elevation. This is due to entering a special state called cryptobiosis, where they tuck in their legs and expel all the moisture from their body. In this stage, their metabolism reduces 99.99%.
Them niggas dry themselves out like raisins.
Yo, right though. Like,
No,
They
exactly.
hibernate.
Or a better way to put it, they release a mummifying sugar and go into a mummifying state. This process explains how these creatures can survive being frozen for decades, and they can even survive the radiation and the vacuum of outer space. It's been tested that they could survive for at least multiple weeks. And by the way, that vacuum in outer space, the pressure surpassed 87,000 pounds per square inch, which, to put this in perspective, is 6 times more pressure than the deepest parts of any ocean.
That's fucking nuts.
yeah, that's crazy.
And they can withstand
That's
temperatures
so they're super organisms.
Yeah.
and they can withstand temperatures of negative 350 degrees and
If they tuck
upwards
their
of
legs in.
300 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can't burn them and you can't freeze them.
Yeah.
Step on.
So another way to put this in perspective, when people say if apocalypse wipes out most of life on the planet, roaches will be the last living thing known.
Technically,
Actually, they're wrong. It would be these tardigrades will be the last known thing surviving.
tardigrades.
They're just impossible to kill. Tardigrades are impossible to kill.
Only if they tuck their legs in.
Well, they have to go into that metamorphosis state.
So if they're not, then you can kill them by burning them, right?
Well, I don't have enough. I didn't do research on.
No metamorphosis, cryobiosis.
Oh yeah,
They're
cryobiosis.
going into a cryo state, like a state of suspended animation.
Stasis.
basically,
Yeah.
called ton. That's
Yeah.
what it's called. It's called
And
ton.
did you see what it looks like? To where it's like this shell. It's almost like a cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like garlic. I told you. It looks like the drink off of Men in Black. That shit is nasty. He was talking.
When I was looking at them, I was trying to figure out what their purpose was on the planet. Like, you made something that can just survive for 30 plus years. It can't be killed. And the way it produces, it reproduces either the female reproduces sexually when the female will actually drop eggs and then the male will actually fertilize those eggs, or it reproduces asexually where the female just drops the eggs and the eggs fertilize themselves.
Well, the way I'm thinking about that, they probably it's a win-win. To where if there's any males around, then they're going to let the males do what they're programmed to do. But if they're not, fuck them.
Got you. But what is their purpose on this? And they feed off of algae and lichen. So it's
And they live in just moss.
They live all the way down. Basically,
I mean, I know they live in different places, but I'm saying like, what do they? Where all do they live? Like
They live
lakes.
everywhere.
Every
Bottom,
single-
the
like,
bottom
okay.
of lakes is what they said. They basically, or the basis of
but they
organisms
But
of
but they
human
live
life.
they live anywhere where their human where their feeding source is, which is why they said they've been found everywhere. There's been some found in high altitudes where there's no water at all. Well, in terms of ponds and lakes and that sort. But this is the other question. What has ever been created that can survive all areas on Earth, but also to at least some degree survive in space?
that shit is weird. as
That's
fuck.
deep.
That shit is deep.
They're
That shit is
aliens.
deep. Not only are you surviving fucking
That might be
the
a good
cold
one.
and the heat, you surviving fucking pressure, tons of pressure, fucking all types of shit.
No, but-
like, come on now.
But that's a good. There could be a case that these are alien species because it's not the fact that they could survive the deepest pressures of water. They could survive the outer space
Space,
pressure,
right.
which is unlike anything on planet Earth.
right.
So how can a species on Earth adapt to the pressures of
Of
outer
space.
space without coming?
Actually being there or coming from space.
That just blew my mind. That just blew my mind.
That's just a theory. That's a thinking process. That's a hypothesis.
Yeah.
Specifically, the outer space situation, a group of scientists or astronauts went to space, and scientists had the astronauts bring a
container.
container of these.
I don't think they did that.
Bro, they did.
I think they just replicated space, and space is just a vacuum. You can just,
No, but for this, the one of the articles I read,
They actually took it outer space.
yes, I just didn't put
gotcha.
that into the paragraph. I just summed it up.
Okay. Still want to know what their purpose is.
But that's the thing. If they actually are aliens, how do you judge their purpose? Well, for example, because you know when humans travel from continent to continent, they bring unintended species to a continent, unnatural species. For example, the snakes in Florida, what is it, pythons? Mm-hmm. They're taking over. What if maybe humans are from alien DNA, and when the aliens came over, one of their species is a tardigrade, and it just happened, since they're so small, they were in whatever spacecraft that came to planet Earth, and they just happened to come. The thing that blows my mind, forget where they live in the 30 years, they can survive for at least multiple weeks in outer space with that type of pressure.
Unlike us.
A species can't evolve if it doesn't have the environment to evolve in.
How can they?
How do you adapt to space?
How can you survive somewhere you've never been? Like somewhere like you literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how can something become, as example, fire repellent if it's never been around fire? That just, from an evolution perspective, that doesn't compute.
Makes sense.
Okay. All right. So next topic.
Next.
Free the nipple movement. Where do we fall?
What?
Free the nipple movement.
All right.
Do you want me to explain what this is?
Yes.
Yeah, because I just want to know, like, what nowadays with all these new age kids and these human beings on planet Earth with the internet, did somebody go right, or did some like angry feminist start blogging on her?
No, it's an
fucking
official
page
day now.
about freeing the fucking what men did we tell them they couldn't take their nipples out and put them away?
No, this
or-
is a woman thing.
All right.
It's a feminist movement about.
Of course it's a feminist movement. Of course it's a fucking feminist movement. You just want to have your titties out for the day.
What's going on? Didn't they do this already? Can't they? In New York State, I think in New
They
York
already
State,
got-
it's legal. You can take your titties out.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so
You can
what's
take
up?
your titties
So
out.
what the fuck? All right, so why are we freeing the nipple? Free the nipple, the whole titty can come out.
Just because something legal doesn't mean it's not taboo.
Okay, so what do the feminists want us to do? What do they
legal.
want?
Fuck other people's
What do
opinions.
they want us to do? Free the nipple movement.
But that's just New York State. I don't know. I know it's not legalized in many southern states.
Okay, what is the movement? I don't get. What is it?
Okay, the movement is about equality among men and women. If a man can walk around with his shirt off, why can't women?
Because this is not Africa, and people do not have the mindset. You know what? It goes right to that thing where African men can sit there and their women can walk around without bras, and at the same time, it goes both ways. Those dudes can sit there and look at those women and have absolutely no reaction to their titties, and those women can sit there and have no, even to foreigners, have no reaction or feel like
Because-
they need to cover their titties. Because they don't have our mind states.
Because
We're
in-
fucking sick in the head.
Exactly. We already fucked up, so you expect to just walk around with your titties out like a man dick ain't gonna get hard? Come on.
Women can't even breastfeed.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
They can't even breastfeed.
What about women? So you're telling me when you see some nice pectoral muscles, that doesn't get your juices flowing?
I didn't say it didn't.
No. So it does.
What are you getting at?
So if
Let's get to the
women
point.
can get turned on by our naked breast, why the fuck can't men get turned on by your naked breasts? Well, we don't have to show ours either, but it's legal, so we say fuck it and we do it. We put that baby oil on. We put some
Okay,
nice.
that's cool. I hear what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. So with that being said, in the states that the free the nipple movement or whatever the case may be is legal,
Free the nipples.
bitch, they already said you could free the nipple. So now you want to be mad because of society and how they feel. But what more do you expect?
In Florida, they don't give a fuck.
Okay, but this is where consistency
Next is
comes.
gonna be free the fucking pants.
No. But this,
I'm around.
but this is where consistency comes from. Don't get mad at these people for believing in a movement, because a lot of people still believe that there's a problem with how black people are treated, even though legally speaking, they're not treated any differently from a non-economic perspective. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, legally speaking. The only way poor people are disadvantaged from other people is non-economically.
You said poor and then you said black.
Well, because I view black as poor. Not the skin color, but I view race as a social term, not as a skin color term.
So basically, you're saying that if somebody was to say white or Spanish or Indian, you would think of them as like rich, and then somebody say black, you would think of them as poor?
For me, I use those terms when I'm talking to, like when I'm explaining to my friends about a girl, I use those terms so they know about skin color. But if we're getting into a political debate, the actual definitions of why race was created, then yes, it is for economic reasons. Race did not exist before the 1900s. It did not come into a term, if you look up the original definition, until economics played a part into it. So people want to use it as a skin ethnicity basis when in fact it's really not. But then again, people use gay to explain their sexuality when gay means happy. So what the fuck do I know?
Listen, sound like you was talking your shit to me.
Yo, right. You put a whole period on that bitch. What the fuck do I know?
And I heard you. So whoever don't receive you, that's on them.
Yeah.
I get.
And
Listen.
by the way, I'm not saying words can't be used in multiple ways.
No, I know what you mean.
For example, fuck.
Fuck.
How many ways do we use fuck? You know, as an example.
Every way when we get hurt, when we
So-
stump
so-
our toe, we be like, fuck.
So I use race in two ways, but I make it clear how I'm using the race in those examples. When I'm with my friends, people know I'm using race as, when I say Hispanic bitch, she's Puerto Rican, blah, blah, blah. So if I say a white bitch, she's European. Example. But if we're talking politically and I need to get into technical terms with a motherfucker because they want to be technical, okay, if you want to be technical, when you say black people, I'm part of you, motherfucker, because I'm poor as shit. I live in the fucking hood.
Period. We gave him his black card. Mind y'all fucking business.
I gave that man a black card when
The government gave him his black card. Okay, the motherfucker said he poor.
The banks gave me my black card when I can't get a fucking $1,000 loan and I have an 800 plus credit score. So if that ain't fucking black, you could go suck a dick.
bitch.
You got an 800 plus credit score?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You want to get
I'm
married,
proud of
baby?
that shit.
What the
We don't need no prenup. We don't need a prenup, baby. We don't need it. We know what it is.
She's annoying.
We know what it is.
No, that's why when I get technical, I say race. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. The banks don't give a fuck about that.
They
You-
care about your fucking zip code.
You think the banks care that Jay-Z is the skin color of a brown or what you would consider black? Hell the fuck no. He is as white comes.
And his money is as green as it motherfucking gets. Green and gold.
But
Now we're talking about status, that is definitely true. That you're basically, in this country, your status definitely matters on paper, without a doubt.
yeah.
I feel like your zip code and your bank account.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it is for me.
Yeah, but let's not get twisted. If Jay-Z moved right next over, if he moved in the house over and then bought up every single lot and built houses, this one street would no longer be a red zone.
You
It
wouldn't
would
be
be
poor
a-
no more.
it would
I
be a-
bet you'd be getting that $1,000 loan.
Oh, I'll be getting a fucking $50,000 loan.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You paid off your loans how quickly? Your credit score is what? If it's a female woman, oh, you're somewhat cute. I might.
Let me raise
Gold
that for ya.
digger.
Here's your spending limit.
Okay,
So
but
what you gonna do with your money?
getting back to the nipple movement.
I'm with it. Show them titties.
By the way, you guys could be with it, but also say it would never work in a society like America, as you guys have pointed out.
I just think that is a long time from now. I think that that's a very long time from now, and I think that there are so many things we have to consider, like the way our children are growing up and stuff like that. They don't know that stuff to
but
be
it's-
normal. So I just feel like that's a long road to change ahead of us. And
normal
so many
in
people
Europe.
have so many different feelings about. I don't want to walk down the street and see another girl's titties. Like,
That shit is normal as fuck. in Europe.
Me personally, as a man, I don't want to. There is no. Men wouldn't even be against this because they're against women actually doing it. Men would be against it because I don't want to have to feel like I have to protect a woman or you know what I'm saying, deal with that all the time. Because every time you go out, as soon as somebody has a drink or one or two, you're going to have 1, 2, 3 idiots in the corner sitting over there Googling, getting ready to say something.
but
you cannot
those is creeps, though.
It's bad enough when they're covered up. Could you imagine when they're just hanging there?
But to be fair, when are men with their shirt off that consistently in locate? When I'm saying these women are free the movement titties, whenever a man has his shirt off, the woman can too with no bra. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she goes to school with no fucking bra because a man can't do that either. A woman can't go to work with no bra unless it's a certain type of
In places that
class.
it's allowed, or in places that it's accepted for you to be topless or whatever, or just be comfortable like a beach and shit like that.
Or a park. Parks, you're able to have your shirt
Right.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, but let's not act like
Please
the
don't scare
male
my
chest
kids.
and the female chest are deemed. They're two totally different.
Unless you're fat.
They're different things. Like the female breast is looked at just like her vagina or anything else. Like the male,
But
it's more of
why?
like, because our chest is, when women look at our chest, it's like them looking at our nice biceps. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I mean? It's not the same when we look at them. You know what I'm saying? When we look at a woman's breast, it's not the same as like naked breasts. It ain't the same as looking at her naked thighs. It's a whole new story.
What about
But
a little titty bitch compared to a fat nigga with titties? I ain't hearing it.
But I would also
do
say
agree that
Dwayne.
I'm not with the no nipple movement shit, but I get
But
it.
what size is Dwayne Johnson? If he was a female, those are easily D's.
Those
Yeah, but
Jeez, my
how-
guy.
But how do you?
If that's a
but how do you
female.
look at them? Even I look at a guy's chest when he works out and he's like, "Yo, man, that dude's got a pretty nice chest."
But
Because he works out, has nothing to do sexual. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I'm weird. If I was a woman, if I saw some fucking nipples on a nice chest, that would turn me on. But I'm turned on by perfection. So maybe I don't know.
No, I don't want to see no unpleasant shit though either. You know what I'm saying?
But a fat man can walk around without their shirt.
I'm not
so.
referring to fat men being unpleasant. I'm referring to just
Whoa.
some crazy looking titties. I wasn't thinking about a man. I was
Okay.
thinking about a woman.
Okay, we can move on if you guys are.
Next.
You need a recycling bin?
Next.
Getting drug tested for work. Why is it really necessary?
I feel
That's the question. I thought you were about to say
I'm
something
not
else.
against drug testing. I smoke weed, and I'm not against drug testing for work. If I had a job where I had to stop smoking weed, I would just have to stop smoking weed because if I come to work high, I'm gonna fuck some. I do high shit all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you do.
I would rather if I was working in that type of job where I had to get drug tested. I wouldn't be mad because I wouldn't want to fuck up on my job, especially important jobs like taking care of older people, administering wrong medicine, anything. You know, it's already bad enough you have to be conscious of your actions when you're sober. So imagine fucking some shit up when you're high because you're coming to work high or drunk. I'm not doing that.
I agree with what she said.
I'm gonna just let that be off camera.
I was listening.
I agree with what she said, without a doubt. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, that makes sense, right? If we're getting tested for drugs, why are basically every single work environment that's testing for drugs, it's the least dangerous drugs?
That's another thing.
What do you mean by least dangerous drugs? Like weed?
Weed is not dangerous, and for most people, weed, if anything, heightens your senses. Do you think this is a massive invasion of privacy? Are these tests even accurate?
No, most of them aren't. Some of them.
I feel like if you were off something harder, it would be noticeable.
Well,
And
this,
then
this
they would administer drug tests based off of your actions, right?
but this is me. How many friends do you know that smoke weed and they're able to easily pass the weed drug test?
I can't do shit. I can't pass.
I know quite a few.
But my
I
job does
know.
hair tests. Like they have to get
And
something either from your
and
head or
trust me,
body.
weed enthusiasts have gotten creative.
Yeah.
We're missing
Yeah.
a variable, though.
Bitches be going with their wigs on ready.
We're
They be
missing
ready.
a variable.
What's the variable?
Opiates, alcohol, crack.
Oh no,
Cocaine.
No, he said he-
that was my follow up. I was going to say that.
No. The variable is, if you actually think about it, right?
I know where you're going.
Their half-lives. All of those you can do because they're out of your system within a day or two, or some within 24 hours. Weed is the only thing that's going to be in your system for somewhere between 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go the ethnicity route.
No, but that is why when it comes to the drug testing, when you say, "Oh, why do they only test for the least?" Not really. It's
They
really
just test for drugs and it shows up because it's been in because it stays the longest.
yeah, because you can't get rid of that one.
But then what's the fucking point?
But I can hear.
But he knows
the
what I'm saying.
breathing. Y'all
But-
are really
but-
hot and bothered.
But
Like,
Piper,
what?
but Piper knows the difference between
Yeah,
natural
We had this conversation
at
about
work.
the manufactured thighs and the born with the genes thighs.
and then when
genetic
those two come together.
they be create an explosion.
Okay, getting back.
Yeah, Fred, you
I can-
wildin', bro.
It's not even. Listen, Francis is talking. He is over here breathing this shit. I can't.
I didn't say anything.
I swear. Did you hear me say? I was like, I can hear y'all, but y'all
Yeah,
literally.
I
Yeah.
can't hear it.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yeah. We,
It's okay, bro. Because if you were saying what I was saying, I'll be moaning. So if anything, you're in check. I'll be like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's bad. Y'all don't even know. It's
I don't
bad.
know what she's talking about.
You did start breathing a
Yeah,
little heavy.
you was breathing kind of heavy on the mic.
It was my Vagus nerve because of the thighs.
He was over.
Vagus nerve.
Like,
It was soon.
listen.
It was soon as Conscious said, "Can you stand up?" My man
He
said,
said, I said, oh, I heard him. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, come on.
"My man did exactly what we was talking about earlier. Breathe through the mouth,
No, breathe through the nose.
breathe through the nose."
He was like,
My man said,
Y'all done? Y'all done?
I get it.
y'all don't
I
work.
get it.
"It happens, bro."
I
I
get
told
it.
y'all that in the beginning of the goddamn
Wait,
show.
I wasn't here. Wait, in the beginning of this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you was here.
Yeah. He's doing good. Okay, but getting back, my only thing about drug testing, I wanted to more so emphasize, I really do feel it's an invasion of privacy if there is no point to it. And I feel weed is one of the most, there has been such a negative narrative about weed for so many decades that's why it has been influenced in drug testing. I know one of the reasons it could stay in the system, but I feel if weed was never bashed by this paper company, we would not view weed the same way because alcohol is and by the way, yes, alcohol is not in your system, but if a person had a hangover and comes into work the next day, you're going to know if he had a fucking hangover, test or no test. But they can't do shit about that. That's what pisses me off.
What demographic?
If I'm not
of
coming to
people
work high, I
smoke the most
shouldn't
amount of
be-
marijuana? Because by putting that on the testing, you can literally stymie off at least 70% of people from even getting a job. You already know people in the hood that can't get certain jobs because they just can't stop smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? So why not just put that in the drug test to kind of...
But I wouldn't say which, I would rephrase that question. Which community of people are best known or most connected with smoking weed? Because white people
I know.
are very known, but it's not in the narrative.
That's just so very true.
Because in fact, I actually know a lot more white people that smoke weed than black people.
Honestly,
My
Yeah.
man Seth Rogen. That man smokes more than any black person I know besides Snoop.
But think about it. But like, there's exceptions, but I've never seen a white famous person who's known for weed and he gets bad buzz. But with black famous individuals,
Yeah.
it's a hit or miss.
Right. Because, like, we accepted Snoop and Wiz for, like, them being, like, pot smokers.
we didn't have a choice. They made us accept
Because
them
they
for who
came out like
are.
that.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
the
saying
same
you-
thing with
how
Seth
do you-
Rogen, too, though.
Okay, pick a different white actor.
James Franco.
James, yeah.
No, that we don't know that smokes that you think just came out in the
Oh.
limelight that people feel
No,
some
but
type of
when
way about.
James Franco first came out, he did not put his weed thing out there. And then when he came out as in Pineapple Express, which
Yeah.
is his transition, people embraced that. If
Yeah.
that was a black man who came in as, for example, if Denzel Washington did all these dramatic films and then all of a sudden start doing weed comedies, would his career be where it is now? Fuck no.
They gonna start treating him like Whitney and Mary J at that one BET
So I'm just,
award.
I understand the scientific reasons of why they test for weed but I'm just saying when you dig deeper, when it's not a shallow conversation, there are problems with it, from invasion of privacy to abusing, or what's the correct word? for the black community. Like the moment you do a drug test, you can automatically get rid of a certain group of people. Discrimination. It is a low key form of discrimination.
Like you said.
It's the legal way to go about it, though. Instead of saying, "Oh, are you black? I can't hire you." Say, "Give me that weed test, that drug test."
Yep, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
It works the same way with probation.
Oh,
You know,
never
that's
mind.
how most people even get back, on parole because they get caught on something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what do most people do on parole? They drink. Why? Because you can get that out of your system in 24 hours. What can't you do?
Weed.
Smoke weed. What
Yeah.
do they keep on that daggone test? Weed. So you can go right back to jail.
But my problem with that is alcohol is known for so many issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's the story behind it and the way it's viewed and how it's geared. And
But it's only that way because really rich people have their power with politicians and they make more
Money.
Yes.
There we
That's
go.
my thing. If alcohol was so bad, then why is it fucking essential? I get why it's essential, but I'm saying like the government deems it to be so. Our money comes from it. Like the taxes, alcohol is all tax, all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's so bad. You know what I'm saying? But this
Well-
is something you feel is necessary to stay open during the pandemic. But come on, if it was so essential, why the fuck? Come on.
Yeah. On one episode, Piper, talked about that. Okay, this is the
Was I here?
no.
Oh,
it was the
well.
first time. No, but no, he agrees with you. When was alcohol stores essential?
Right.
Only thing they're doing is keeping a couple bodies from dropping from not dying from withdrawal. That's it. Like I just feel like we're all turning into alcoholics in the house. We don't got shit else to do but drink.
And what most people don't realize, alcohol is one of the few drugs that is mentally and physically addicting. So once you get hooked,
Your body depends on it. Your mind depends on it.
Yeah.
You, niggas wake up wanting to drink. I didn't used to drink. Y'all know that? I just didn't even taste it. I couldn't even take a shot for my birthday last year, literally, without like gagging or like putting it down and be like, oh my God, no. And I was turning 21. My best friend took all 21. I just sat here and just,
So you had a
You
rough
know?
year, huh?
no, I don't drink. I mean, I do now. I can't say I don't drink because then now I didn't have a rough year. I just,
Okay.
shit.
All right.
I socially drank, and now I could like have a shot or two or a cup, but I've never been drunk. But I can socially drink, like take a cup or something. But before I couldn't.
okay, this is the final topic. It's a multitude of things. The people in this entire world, especially in America, need to come to their senses. The more the government gains, the less freedom we as humans have. And the reason I'm talking about this is when it comes to the face mask. Why are we being forced to wear this, not be a part of that, just because of the coronavirus? Why aren't these governments doing the same with companies literally selling citizens cancer? And you could pick anything. Sugar,
You're a little Debbie.
disease,
What?
processed food, literally cigarettes, which is fucking cancer.
It's basically because they have to maintain first of all, the COVID is it's almost like a psyop. First of all, they have to maintain the fear of everybody on the planet. And if you actually look and you walk outside, the only thing that'll even remind you for 2 seconds that there's something out there that might get you is people wearing the mask. As soon as they can just lift that people wearing the mask, everybody's going to do everything as normal. But because you can see this mask, you're still going to respond to anything. Your brain is going to
You're
still...
aware of the danger.
sense of this false danger. Basically, it's you have this COVID spell in your head, just keeps on playing over and over and over again.
Before you get any deeper, could I say a quote that you put out there? It's
Yeah.
from Christopher Rodriguez. Wait, so politicians and business owners would never work together against a president they can't control and would never intentionally destroy the economy and put tons of Americans into a state of struggle, stress, and depression. They would never intentionally drop a virus on us to shame and depreciate the credibility of the current political power and bringing death to its citizens intentionally to put the voters into a state of fear to regain political power. And by the way, I just want to point out, where did the coronavirus start? China. which country specifically, which person does China hate the most right now at this very moment? America/Trump.
We getting hit the hardest, okay?
Yeah.
The motherfucking hardest. But then again, our trade comes through here. They knew all that shit. I feel like everybody knew all this shit.
But see, this is the thing. You say this, but how many people really know this, or how many people personally believe this? I know a lot of people who might agree with me, but do they agree with me because they did the research themselves and they personally believe it, or do they agree with me just because I'm saying it?
That shit sound good. Some people are going to hear that shit and believe it because it sounds good. Some people are going to look into that shit because they actually care to know. And some people are just going to believe whatever the fuck pops in their head at the moment. You feel me?
Yeah, but at some point you got to understand that everything is orchestrated. There is nothing that's not orchestrated. As much as everybody, they make it seem as if everything's thrown around. Like, I even said it. I even have a video and a few posts this is months before the COVID came. I said exactly how they were going to move the COVID, because if it was 1942 or something like that, it would have never got here. Because the only reason the COVID got here was it got here through the psyche of people watching social media and watching it in their computer and on their phones through social media. If you didn't have a phone and you didn't have a TV, the COVID couldn't get here. But because you had a phone and a TV and you're hooked up to social media, they can be like, oh, it's in London. Oh, now it's here. Now it's in New York. And now you're a guy, oh, it's in New York. Now you're talking to people like, oh, it's here. Oh, it's there. Oh, it's coming to get us, when nothing's coming to get us. It's simple propaganda that brought it all the way here. And then out of nowhere, they got $100 billion stimulus package specifically for the COVID-19 virus. And now all these hospitals are writing fake COVID-19 on there so they get money. As soon as you walk in there, $13,000 if you're diagnosed with COVID.
And what was it, 36 or something?
$39,000 for a ventilator. Of course, I don't want the COVID.
Yeah, but what business person is not going to go for the latter when they can make, what is that? That's basically 3 times as much.
That's $50,000. That's $50,000 a person, and the money is there. And if they shut down the economy, of course, there's nothing else to make money off of except the COVID.
But this is also what I agree with you wholeheartedly. I hate when people say they love working for hospitals because they do good.
Every single hospital in this country
is a business.
Is owned by bankers and rich people who are investors. That's why if you see a name on that hospital with Kali May or whoever name, or Sloan and Kettering, yeah, those are people that, sit and live in castles and mansions, and they
make money.
Yeah, they talk to other brokers, the other rich people. They go, yo, I need $10 million from you, $10 million. We get $100 million together, then we get this hospital. And then those people, they're not even friends with them. That's their family members, like their cousins and their uncles are already lobbyists, and they already work for the pharmaceutical companies. And now you got my hospital, I link with you. We sell drugs
make money
to
together,
the patients.
right?
Yeah.
But you have to also remember too, they're looking at these as investments. What person ever wanted to not make money, let alone lose money in an investment? So we as a society need to stop looking at hospitals as they're trying to help us. Maybe some of the employees are, but the hospital itself.
Because how many hospital policies say that you can't help like they send people away because of insurance all the time, people that they know it. If you really wanted to help these people, even kids and shit, like you find ways, pro bono surgeries, all type of shit.
Or you give them payment plans.
Exactly. But yeah. Crooked ass people.
That's why your diet is never addressed if you go to a hospital. Because you get new blood every 3 months. So anytime you go into the hospital, one thing they should always do is go, I'm going to adjust your diet, and I want you to do this for 3 months and then come back in for testing. That's as simple as that. They shouldn't just go, this is wrong with you. We're going to prescribe that chemical, and that's it.
I mean, if you have
I agree.
A health, never mind. It's fine. Because I was about to put out the detail.
Because we all have those reoccurring people that go to the hospital for everything.
I had to do that. Like, I had to change my diet for a blood test. So I understand what you mean. In more serious situations, you have to do stuff like that.
But he's talking about just regular checkups.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said yes. I was like, never mind. Because then I'm going to end up...
Yeah. That's cool.
Giving the people something they ain't ready for.
Okay. I just want to end on something controversial. This is just my personal opinion. I really feel society has lost the concept of survival of the fittest. And I want us to get over the fact that not every life is created equal. And as harsh as that might sound, we need to draw the line in what those two terms mean. Sometimes not every life deserves to live. And I also believe we need to know the difference between being compassionate and being soft. And I personally feel, at least in America, we're being very
Soft.
So,
I don't know how to feel in the first one, but the second one I can agree with.
And by the way, when I say all lives, I'm not talking about races. I'm talking about how there is a reason why there are so many diseases, and there's a reason why there are so many people who are just being born at higher rates of being not healthy, to say. And I'm not saying it's all genetics. It's the environment as well. But over the course of generations, if we're consistently in an environment that forms into genetics over the long term.
When you said survival of the fittest, right? And then you said compassionate, and then you said soft. I think we're not. I think we've been taken out of our nature of strength. I think the only time that we even go down that route as far as men is when we either go into the army or go into the military to go do one of those things. But in all honesty, I don't think we're actually raised on a real level. Actually, the men in this country are raised on a real level of strength because we're not in an environment where we have to basically do all the natural manly things that we would normally do. We're in an environment nowadays where most men, as time goes on, like we're getting more and more away from using our hands to like do work and build things and stuff like that.
I'm fucking a nigga who couldn't even mount my TV.
You see,
That hurt my heart.
you see,
But if we're being technical, TVs aren't natural.
That's not
That
what I
nigga
mean.
can't mount
What I
the
mean,
TV. I
that's
heard
not.
what she said.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
I mean is a man doing manly things. You know.
Wait, your man can't mount on TV?
She's saying the least your ass should be able to do is at least mount a fucking TV.
Yeah, I
Who can't mount on TV?
Exactly.
I'm
Follow
not being
instructions.
lit.
Don't they come in the
I'm
box?
glad that you
do,
understand what I'm
but-
saying with me using a regular, up to date metaphor. But I'm saying
Oh,
what he's
okay.
saying is
I thought
men
you were being
need
literal.
to be more. I am.
I'm about to say,
Unfortunately.
yeah, she was literal.
I mean,
that's what I
my walls are not the walls that you could just mount the TV up on. You would have to find a beam and all that shit. But
Yeah,
even
that's,
still,
that's how it works.
That's normal.
oh yeah, the man fucking TV, and that took me.
that's not-
Like I want to be able to ask you to do shit for men don't.
Who doesn't know that?
You shouldn't have to ask. You should just be. There's just
For some paintings, you need a fucking.
Yeah,
you should just be able to.
he's stupid.
My
things.
point is there are a lot of things men can do. He is very fucking stupid.
He's a
But-
little on the slow side.
It's a lot of things that men used to do that I feel like would be nice that they still do. A lot of ways that they carry themselves with their families and I don't know.
Another example. A lot of guys don't really know how to change a tire.
I feel like men lost a lot of masculinity, and I feel like females think that sometimes we think we're niggas and we just sometimes absorb that, from them, or
Well,
Yeah.
to go
you're
with the
right.
tire thing, though,
especially when women make men feel less than a man. That's when I think we really have too much fucking masculinity, and then men aren't the
That's
way they used to be.
Those females ain't shit.
Men aren't what they were in the 50s.
Definitely not.
Women wanted more freedom, right? We wanted more. We
And
wanted
now
to
they
work. We
got
wanted
it.
to do
They
shit.
running them off.
And now it's a lot of shit men can't do that they don't even care to do anymore, and it just becomes it's a subconscious thing.
but for example, the whole tire thing, I don't think that's if a man really wanted to, he could, but because of the way society is set up.
That's what they're saying.
No, but that's different from what I'm saying. We've become soft in terms of We're letting shit go by that we shouldn't. Why is it acceptable to be unhealthy? It's not that I'm fat shaming you. It's that I'm healthy shaming you. Like, how are you going to try to preach to me about giving everybody the best aspect of life when you're consistently eating unhealthy foods?
That could, okay. That could potentially kill you.
Like for the example, when Democrats want to preach me about all these lives matter and all this bullshit, really? So why are you supporting cigarette companies? I just want consistency. Is that so hard?
Yeah. Yeah. For these motherfuckers.
Well, maybe it might be hard for women because women are naturally more emotional roller coasters. But what about men? They don't have an excuse. Where's your consistency?
We're niggas.
Wait, how do you men feel about emotional men?
Not gonna lie, I personally don't care, but
most men will say they're pussies.
Yeah, or gay.
They're cunts.
How I'm not asking how most men would perceive emotional men. I'm asking how you three men perceive emotional men. Oh, I'm so sorry.
All right. That's the second time.
Can you describe when you say?
It depends on how you express that emotion around men. Like, say, if you are around men, right, and you're around me, for instance, and you expressed an emotion like you lashed out in an emotion, you was like, yo, y'all motherfuckers is soft, this, that, and the third. I'm ready to this, that, and the third, yada, 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 yada. All right, well, he's boisterous. He's boasting. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's popping off. He's ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I should give an example.
No. He's ready to go. And so this individual right here, I'm not going to look at him as like a whiny punk-ass, bitch-ass male on the crew.
I thought you were
Whereas you can have another guy who's emotional and he's saying something like, we getting ready to go do something. He's just like, I really don't know about that, guys, or something like that. You got those guys who we're going to look at as weak. Then you have guys that talk about females, and you got certain guys who you can just see them constantly. They're just like under their girl's thumb, and they're just constantly, you know what I'm saying? They're always just like doing what their girls say, or, you know what I'm saying, listening to what their girl do, or, you know, every time something goes on, it's like they're with their girl or something like that. Then you got your other homeboy who he knows, you know what I'm saying, how to handle his female on a certain level and do it on a respectful level and do it emotionally. But, you know what I'm saying, he's not a fucking punk. So we respect him.
No, there are different.
There's just different levels to the way we express emotion.
I get that there's different levels to express emotion, but I'm referring to a person who's just emotional in general. You know when someone's emotional because of how they speak, they talk, or whatever. Your initial reaction of an emotional male. That's all I want to know. Like when you first meet a man and you can tell that he's passionate and emotional, whether it's because he's talking about work, school, doing some shit, or his bitch, what's your reaction?
But X, to be fair, there are different levels of...
What is he passionate about? Because it's going to tell us whether or not, you know what I'm saying?
Like, is he emotional because he's passionate, or is he emotional because he acts like a woman? In terms of, he has so many hormonal swings on average. When I say women, I'm just generalizing here. I think it matters. If I would say I'm an emotional person, but I show emotion differently. I show emotion with anger. I show emotion with passion. If we're talking about that, if we're talking about somebody who's passionate and who puts effort into shit.
And then you have certain supervisors, when they express themselves, they come off as like a little bitch. You know, certain supervisors that come off as, you know what I'm saying? Remember? Every single time. He was consistent.
Insider.
Yeah, all the time.
So X, to answer you, it's I either have complete respect or I automatically lose respect, depending on the emotion. That's the best way I can answer you.
Understood. Let's end this episode with our 5-finger rhino thrust because a bitch is tired. First, you want to like that bitch.
Yes, or dislike it.
And then you want to do what?
Subscribe.
After you subscribe, you sound dry as hell. Subscribe to the motherfucking channel. After you subscribe to the channel, what do you want to do?
Hit that bell.
Ring the bell, bitch. You're going to share that video next. And last but not least, you're going to leave us a...
Comment.
Yay.
comment on the motherfucking video.
And we had some spicy, saucy topics.
Yes.
Big facts, big facts.
All right. LOPH.
Doodle.
Doodle.
If you want to subscribe, just hit this bad boy up here, that big fat rhino. If you want the newest video, to the right. If you want the recommended, to the left. And then, of course, our personal dick pic. Yep, right below. So thank you for joining us once again, and we hope to see you next week. So peace out.
Peace.